Good morning. I have Andy White here, who did the marvellous Help for Hero cycle ride on the 2nd of June in London, and he's going to tell us all about it. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Good morning to
Nice
you.
to be
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Andy did a bit more than most people. I mean, a lot of people actually started the cycle ride in London, but tell us all about it, because obviously you started beforehand.
I found out about it just by chance, really. I found about it in a cycling magazine. And what it was Help for Heroes organised a cycle ride in London from Blackheath Common to Horse Guards Parade. People could just go and do that, but also what they did was they encouraged people to cycle to London to join the ride. So I thought, well, I'll cycle down to London and back from my home in Clayton, which I did.
Well done.
I left on the 1st, cycled as far as Brentwood, and then went into London on the 2nd, did the ride back to Brentwood, and then cycled home again on the following day, on the Monday. But there were people came from Paris, North End of Scotland, all over the country to take part. It was a fantastic time.
Yeah,
really good.
Absolutely wonderful. I think it's really brilliant. So, I mean, how many miles do you actually think you actually cycled yourself?
Well, I think I did close on 185 miles, I think, over the course of the 3 days.
Yeah.
So average about 60 miles a day, I suppose.
Yeah. Which is totally to be admired. It was absolutely brilliant. So okay, we've got June the 2nd.
Yeah.
Weather.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. So you were really lucky on that one.
Nice breeze, yeah. Very lucky. Nice breeze. It was really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But the one with the breeze obviously helps. It would have been a bit too hot, maybe. All right. So you obviously all get together.
Yeah, we met at the idea was Help for Heroes asked for everybody taking part to be at Blackheath Common.
Yeah.
By 10:30 on the Sunday morning.
Okay.
But I don't think they really expected quite the number of people that they got, because they were still registering right up to just before we set off. Right. Anyway, we arrived at Blackheath. Everybody got given one of these shirts, either this light blue, dark blue, or the red. And the guys, there were a lot of guys, injured ex-servicemen on hand cycles.
Yes.
You know, guys with arms been blown off legs. And they were all given a gold T-shirt, which I'll tell you about the reasons for later.
Okay.
They fed and watered us at Blackheath. Fantastic. Endless supplies of bacon sarnies, fruit, Mars bars, Twixes, all that sort of energy stuff.
Energy, yes.
Endless supplies of Lucozade Sport, all that sort of stuff. You know, brilliantly organised. And then once everybody was registered and everything, we all set off. The guys on the hand cycles set off first, and then it was sort of in order of seniority of the 3 armed forces. So the dark blue being the Navy, they went first, being the senior service, then the Army, then the light blue for the Air Force. And it was about a 2.5 mile string of cyclists once we all got on the road. And then we cycled through South London, crossed the Thames at Tower Bridge, over Tower Bridge, then we went along the embankment, turned off the embankment, then cut through, came out on Whitehall behind Horse Guards Parade.
Right, yeah.
And once we got onto Whitehall, they formed up with the guys in the gold T-shirts made the medal, and then all the people in the 3 different coloured T-shirts formed up as the ribbon.
Yes.
And then they had a photograph taken on Whitehall just before we did before they had a wreath laying ceremony at. Well, they couldn't use the cenotaph because the cenotaph was scaffolded over. They're cleaning it all up.
Oh, okay.
So they did a wreath laying ceremony at the memorial for the women who were involved in the wars, the ladies who worked in the munitions factories, that sort of thing, which was quite moving because they did the last post, 2 minutes silence, lone piper, all that. That was very emotional, very emotional. After that, we cycled on Parliament Square, Birdcage Walk, and then before we turned onto the Mall with Buckingham Palace on the left, they formed up in the medal formation again. We turned onto the Mall, went up the Mall, stopped, had another photograph taken before we turned right onto Horse Guards, and then onto Horse Guards. And on Horse Guards there was a stage set up, and the grandstands were all set up ready for Horse Guards Parade, and they were just packed with people.
Wonderful.
Absolutely packed. The atmosphere was amazing. And then we sort of swung onto Horse Guards, formed up in front of the stage, and there was the Games Makers Choir from the Olympics there, the Royal Trumpeters, there was a speech from a high-ranking army officer. The two people who formed Help for Heroes, they made a speech. Mark Cavendish, the cyclist, sprinter.
Yes.
He also made a speech, plus a guy whose name totally escapes me, a para-Olympian cyclist. They made a speech. And again, there was, well, you could have opened a supermarket with the amount of chocolate they were handing out and drinks and stuff like that. And then we all sort of had a bit of a get-together on horse cars, and it broke up about 3 o'clock. And I cycled back to Brentwood, and it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It was amazing. It was fabulous day.
That's brilliant. Because obviously you're military yourself, right? Military.
XRF,
Yeah,
ex-Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was an armourer in the Air Force.
So obviously it's dear to your heart.
It is, very.
Yeah. Which I think is absolutely amazing. I mean, so okay, you had this idea, you were going to do it, which you did. So obviously you needed to get some sponsorship. So how did you go about that?
Well, I was lucky enough. I was asked down here, so I managed to put it out on Felixstowe TV. I've managed to get. I got some sponsorship from Ipswich Hospital because I mean 2-3 years ago I had a double hip replacement at Ipswich Hospital, and I do a bit of voluntary work up there. And the people in the fracture clinic, which is where I was involved when I had my hip replacement, and a lot of those kindly sponsored me, including the lady who actually replaced my hips.
Wonderful.
She chipped in, bless her, and all the rest of the team. Again, I've got some friends down at Felixstowe Museum where I help out. They've kindly sponsored me as well.
Yeah.
And I got sponsorship from people locally.
Yes, yes.
And I set myself a target of 500 quid. At the moment, I'm past 350, and it's looking very good. I should, if I can't quite make 500, I'll be pretty close to it.
Very near.
So if I can, the closer I can get to that, the better. But yeah, that's what I set myself.
That's amazing.
And it's going really well.
Yeah.
And Help for Heroes themselves set themselves a target of $1 million to raise for the bike ride.
Really
and
an awful lot of money.
I honestly think they'll make that.
I'm sure they will.
Having seen the amount of support we got from the crowds on the day and all the rest of it, I think they'll make that easy.
Yeah.
I hope so, anyway.
Well, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
I hope so, yeah. It was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Public support was amazing on the day. Crowds of people along the route, as I said, on horse guards.
Yeah. Cars
bibbing their horns, all that. It was brilliant. Fantastic. Brilliant day. And I'll do it again. Drop of a hat. I'm on the mailing list for next year's information. So.
And there should be more people. I mean, it's not something, and it's like anything else, isn't it? I mean, it's like the London Marathon. It grows and it grows and grows. You know, it's
Yeah, well, the guy when he came on horse cars, the guy who co-founded Help for Heroes, he said that it was their single biggest fundraising event ever.
Right.
And they're going to make it an annual thing. Well, there's definitely one next year, and I think they'll get a massive response next year.
Sure.
Hence, I got myself on the mailing list early.
I don't think they're going to turn you away, well, I'm sure they're not.
A bit miffed if they do, but I hope not.
Yeah.
Might do something different next year, try and get a team of people up or something.
Yes.
A few people said they wouldn't mind doing it.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't have to cycle all the way to London. So I'm sort of working on something at the moment, but I'll give it a go. Definitely.
Did it all go plain sailing though? Okay, you're cycling all the way down to London, you got your day doing the cycling, any mishaps?
Yeah. On the day it was fine. On the day it was fine. First day out, I'd only got as far as Manningtree, and my back tyre exploded. I thought it was a puncture to start with, but it wasn't. The sidewall had split out my tyre. But touch wood,
yes,
I'd arranged with a very good friend of mine who works up at the hospital to call in at a house at Manningtree for a cuppa. Brilliant. On the way. So I struggled to Manningtree. I was about 4 miles from Manningtree when it happened, but I managed to get to Manningtree, and her and her partner very kindly filled me up with tea while he took my back wheel and got me a new tyre fitted, which was a real bonus, because without that I would have been I'd have ended up trying to find my way to Colchester and then find a cycle shop.
That's not the easiest thing in Colchester.
That would have set me back for ages. But touch wood again, that was the only problem I had going down. I had a couple of punctures coming home, but I mean, when you're riding a long distance, punctures are a thing you'd expect, so that didn't really worry me too much. But the blowing tyre was a real surprise. Yeah. So I should carry a folding tyre next time I do it.
Yeah. Well, you learn, don't you? I think
the main thing was on the day, for the 10 miles into London, through London, not a problem.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I have to admit that Help for Heroes had organised mechanical backup. So if anybody did have a problem, there was like a mechanic's van following all the cyclists, and a medical van following all the cyclists through London. So if you did have a problem, you just drop to the back, they'd help you fix it and get you on your way. So you wouldn't have missed anything. So it's brilliant.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, legs hurt a bit.
Well, I'm sure they did ache. I mean, I wouldn't know where to start. I mean, I'm not.
Well, come next year if you want.
I'm not talking about that. Yeah, walking, yes, maybe something like that, but not cycling. Yeah. Not on a bicycle. Not a good idea. But you've sort of saying before about the medals, about the colours, the different colours and the medals. Can you go a little bit into that?
Yeah. The three colours are supposed to represent the three armed forces.
Yes.
Dark blue is Navy, red is Army, light blue is Air Force.
But the actual colour of the actual medal itself.
Well, that is a bronzy colour. But when we made the colour of when they made the medal up for the photograph of the cyclists, they were all wearing gold.
Right.
So as I think it was just so as it showed up a bit better on the photograph.
Yeah.
And it was, if you look on YouTube now, there's quite a bit of coverage of the ride itself.
Okay.
There's some very good footage on there of everybody on the mall and everything. Yeah. But I shall treasure this.
I'm sure you will do.
I shan't wear that much.
I'll say you know answer it next year. That's what you need,
I've even
isn't
thought
it?
maybe trying to frame it. I don't know, but that's a special thing. It's only a T-shirt to some people, but it's what it means.
It is what it means, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's not just a T-shirt, is it? It's
no, not to me. It's not
just
certainly.
a T-shirt.
No, I'm very proud of that.
Which is
very
brilliant.
proud of that.
Fantastic. So, okay, that's you for next year.
Yeah.
But I believe you want to talk about something else, so let everybody know.
Yeah. When I was in the Air Force, I was involved in the first Gulf War in 1991. And after I came home, quite a while after I came home, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, which was not very easy for me, and especially not very easy for my wife. She got a lot of support from an organisation called Suffolk Carers, and a week tomorrow, there is their 25th anniversary.
Right.
And they're organising a cycle ride. You can either do 25 minutes, 25 kilometres or 25 miles around the Shotley Peninsula, starting and finishing at, I think it's Ipswich Girls High School at Wolverston.
Right, okay.
It's got full mechanical backup, i.e. me. There's a barbecue. I think there's some music laid on. You don't have to get sponsorship. It's just £10 to register, and you can register any time after 8:30 that morning.
Yeah.
Down at Wolverston High School. All the free routes will be clearly signposted, and I'd just like to give them a plug, really, just to thank them for the support they gave my wife while I was not very good, really.
Going through slightly rough times.
I've done my plug, and thank you very much for letting me do that.
That's great.
That's great.
That's my pleasure, Andy. I mean, it's again, it's for a good cause. And please come and support. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So next year, that's obviously the next thing for you. Or have you got anything else?
Well, I've got something else planned. I'm doing another cycle ride later on this year for a different sort of cause.
Okay.
But next year is just going to be that healthy era, I think. But at the moment, I've had a few people say to me they'd like to do the ride, but they're not so keen on the bit from Ipswich to London.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking, I've got a sort of an idea in my mind about maybe trying to organise a team and maybe find somewhere we could stop inside the M25 somewhere and then cycle from there into Blackheath or something like that. But that really is, it's still up here at the moment.
But I'm sure it could come to fruition.
I've had a few people up.
I think you could get there.
There's a few people up at the hospital, especially when I told them about the actual day itself, I said, I wouldn't mind doing that, but the ride into London. So or the ride from Ipswich. So I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah.
And maybe get a team of people up and register as a team and do it next year. But come hell or high water, I shall definitely go in one way or another next year, because it was just brilliant.
Well done, Andy.
I couldn't wish it. It was just fantastic. Can't really say enough, really, more than that. It was brilliant. Brilliant day.
Well, Andy, thank you very much for telling
You're more than
us
welcome.
about it.
Thank you very much for asking me back.
So looking forward to seeing you again next year, obviously.
I'm a bit grey, I reckon.
Well, you don't say that.
I'll be a year older. But I'd love to come back.
Yeah.
Thanks ever so much.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Brilliant. Thanks.